What is up YouTube, I'm Zoran Longshot and happy Halloween for yesterday. Hope you all had a good time, whether it was pieing, whether it was trick-or-treating. I know we had a lot of trick-or-treaters last night, well basically I think mostly due to the pumpkin that I designed. I designed a creeper-faced pumpkin, which you will see right here. I think it was a really good success actually. I was going to make a video on how to make one for you, but I ran out of time and I couldn't process it in time for you guys to show you, but it's easy enough. You just gotta draw out a face, cut away as deep as possible without cutting into the pumpkin, so you still got a layer there, and make sure to keep the raised pumpkin left for the Minecraft face. But it was extremely popular. A lot of people were commenting when they came to the door and say, "Oh, what a cool pumpkin." So I think that was a good success. But anyway, that was yesterday, and today we're on some F1 2015, mostly to celebrate the fact that Lewis Hamilton won the championship last week. Today he is in Mexico. Hopefully he is on the second row. He was in second place from qualifying. The race hasn't begun yet, so hopefully he will win it today. But anyway, we're gonna play some a quick race really. I'm gonna try it on legend on the hardest one as possible, just to basically on Austin, the Austin track, just to basically celebrate that Lewis Hamilton winning the championship, obviously, which I am a big fan of. So we're gonna get stuck right in here. So yeah, there we go. Alright then, I'm gonna take it right through it, and then we'll see what happens towards the end. So for starters, we've got off qualifying, so it's a one-shot qualifying, so just one lap. Hopefully I can nail it. Remember, it's going to be extremely hard because it's on the hardest difficulty on the AI, so we'll see, and it's raining, which makes things so much worse, so I'm going to have to use intermediates. So I'll go around the first corner and then we'll take control from it when the lights go out. There we go. Pretty simple, going up straight. Make sure not to overshoot that. I don't want to. I'm doing quite well. I'm still there, but I think I'm in 10th for some reason. I think I'm bringing it back there. Now I'm in 7th. I find this really hard, especially in the wet. It's a little bit easier in the dry, but in the wet this is pretty difficult, I found. But somehow I managed to get the paces back in qualifying. So because you constantly have to go in and out, making sure to brake at the right moment as well, and not to go overshoot different corners. So yeah, I'm so surprised I'm in 7th place considering how far I am behind Rosberg, who is in 1st. So I thought this corner was quite good as well. That was perfectly well timed, but I'm still not gaining anything on him. So you can just see how good the the AI is. It is really good. And you gotta make sure to brake at the right moment, especially because it's wet. So it's gonna I'll overshot it a little bit. But in the wet, you don't know where to brake really. So because if you brake too late, you completely miss it. If you brake too early, you will lose a lot of time. So as you can see, doing different turns, like a sequence of chicanes, and basically it's really just gonna just make the back end just want to step out. So it's really slidey. I really like this corner. I do make up a bit of time on these corners. This is by far the best part of the track for me. And we're going around the last corner. I've overshot it a little bit, and I think that's what lost it for me. I think I was in P5 until I did that corner. So I think I slipped back to P7 right here. So yes, as you can see, the cinematic basically shows that they're very disappointed. I mean, as Lewis Hamilton, he's supposed to be in pole or at least 2nd. 7th is not good for Mercedes right now, so I obviously haven't done very well for them. Right, so here we are, we're in the race now. We're just doing the opening sequence of it. And so I'll start from P7. Hopefully I can make a few places from the start. I'm usually quite good at the starts. Usually I get away with everybody else at the same speed, but I usually manage to get them under braking. So they're all kind of bunched up, and I like to go either on the inside or the outside, just to get around people while they're all bunched up. And it really does pay off for me, and I'm sure you'll be able to see it right here. There we go. So it wasn't too bad of a start. They might have gotten a bit of a better one than me. They usually do, especially on Legendary. As you see, I'm going to go up the inside here and just get past most of them. I'm going to come behind the Ferraris, and they make a little bit of a mistake, so I'm going to capitalise on it and get into second place, which is absolutely amazing considering I'm on Legendary and where I qualified. So I'm really going to have to struggle to keep hold of this place from Ferraris. And I've got to try and keep up pace with Rosberg as well, which is going to be extremely hard, and I don't think it's quite possible. I'd say if you get into first place by the start of the race, you can hold them off for maybe a lot of the time in the race. Maybe they'll pass you, maybe they won't. Maybe it's a really good track that you can keep them back. But I'd say a Legendary, a lot of people are going to really struggle to be faster than the AI, because they are so perfect in their driving that you probably won't be able to get any faster than them, especially in qualifying. I'm sure there will be people out there who are able to, and I had to nudge Vettel there to the side because he was trying to overtake me there. But yeah, I'm sure there'll be people who will be able to beat the AI in terms of pace on the track, but those would be the hardcore games of F1, I would say, of which I can safely say I'm not. I don't play it all that often, but I enjoy it when I do play it. I'm a big fan of F1, so I always try and get the F1 games each year. But I don't play it as much as I think I would like to. There are other games I think I prefer to play, like FIFA, Minecraft, and Call of Duty. Those are my big 3 games that I normally would like to play. So yes, I would like to play a bit more, but for those hardcore games, they can probably outpace the AI. But for me, I think they're just a bit too fast for me, and I can't quite keep up with them. Especially in the rain, it's going to make it so much more difficult for me in the rain. I think if it was dry, I might be able to keep a bit more pace with them, but I'm terrible in the rain in this. See, these corners aren't too bad right here. This one's actually quite good. This lap's quite good in terms of length. They're a little bit wide, and then I break a bit too much there, I think, and go wide again there. And I'm starting to slide around a bit. So you see, there's like a massive train right behind me. So basically, I'm just holding up the entire field. I'm sure there's probably AI at the back of the field that I could probably outpace. I could probably be faster than, because obviously in this race you have a hierarchy of who's like faster than the others, and as I'm in the highest car, even my deficit of how slow I will be compared to the AI, I'm sure I'll be faster than the back markers of the grid. See, that was a quite good timed braking there. I got quite close to the apex there. So this is a good lap for me, I think, in total. However, it's still going to be, Vettel's still going to be right behind me. They're still going to be trying to overtake me, but I'm not even sure how long I can keep them behind me. My best part of the track is here, so hopefully I can at least make a little bit of a gap. There you go. I can't even see Vettel behind me, so that's going to help out a lot. As you see, Rosberg's got the fastest lap of the race, of course. He's out front. He's obviously going to kill it because he's AI. I'm holding up a lot of people, and he's out front in the clear air, and he's got the fastest car. So it's kind of obvious that he's going to get the fastest lap. So for me, it's just a matter of trying to hold off into and keep second place. That's the best I can really do at this point, and hope something might happen to Rosberg. I don't know, with another AI in terms of back markers or at pit stops. But when it comes to AI racing, they're usually faultless. Sometimes you might find that after the classifications at the end of a race, you might see like some drivers with plus 5 stop go penalty or something like that, just because they might have played it with another AI. But it's pretty rare that they will do that. So we're on lap 3. So the laps are quite long on this. I think there's shorter laps on different circuits, but I'd say it's more of an average sort of time. But anyway, I'm gonna skip it ahead till we get to nearer the pit stops, when something more interesting kind of happens. At the moment, I'm just gonna go around the circuit. I'm gonna keep second place. Then he's not gonna really battle me much because he's got to catch up to me first. I am pulling a bit of a gap, So I will speak to you guys when he starts to either try and catch me up or we're at the round of pit stops. So I'll see you then. Right guys, so we're on lap 6 and as you can see Vettel is a lot closer, but we're at the pit window now. So I'm just going to try and hold him off for I think one more lap. I want to pit on lap 7 if I possibly can, hold him back just a little bit longer. Because he hasn't pitted and I haven't pitted either. So what I want to do is I want to make sure I pit at the same time as him. I don't want to pit before, I don't want to pit after. Because I know at the times that I pit and he doesn't, he will probably make up some ground and probably pass me through the pit stops. As you can see, he's trying to get past me there. Doesn't quite work for him, so he does like lose out a bit there. And I think Raikkonen also tries out to go at me just at the corner there. You can't see it on camera there, but you will see at the end of the race when I go through the highlights that you can see what happened. So I've managed to cause them a bit of a problem basically. They've managed to fall back a little bit. So I've got to get to the end of this lap and do one more lap and then I can pit. So as you can see, we're quite far behind now on the map. You can see that we're not even really really close. However, I do lose a bit of time in this corner there by doing a bit of an overshoot. I'm trying to brake as late into this corner as possible, but it's getting harder and harder into that corner specifically to brake. So they do make up a bit of time over these few corners. However, that corner is a little bit better. And this corner will be better because this is, as I've said before, my best corner of the track. Somehow I just seem to manage to bring out a bit more time from this than the AI does. However, this corner specifically, this time around, wasn't exactly a very good one. I overshot it. I think it's because my tyres are losing grip. I have used them for 6 laps now, so we're getting to half race distance now, and they're a bit worn out. So here we go, we're on the last lap before I pit. I've just got to manage to keep them behind me until the end of this lap where I can then pit. There's some new intermediate tyres. It's still raining, so we can't go to slicks. We would probably go to the soft compound tyre. I think it's the soft, either that or the medium. Pretty sure it's the soft. But yes, just need to hold out for this one now. As you see, I'm really struggling to keep onto the track because my tyres are just out of grip and it's so slippery now. So I've just got to make sure to keep to the end of this lap. But this is going to be the hard part to keep them behind, because if they're right behind me, then they're going to easily overtake me. Luckily he's not too near, however I think he'll make up that gap. I think he's under a second, so he'll probably have the RS, but probably too far ahead for him to catch me up. And I'm trying to brake as late as possible without making sure I overshoot it. That was a better one now, especially under the pressure of having Raikkonen right behind me. So I think we've got a few more corners left to go until I can pit. As you see, Rosberg's well ahead now. You know, we won't be able to find him. We won't be able to catch him in any way. Unless there's a safety car and unless he's involved in that safety car, we probably won't be able to catch him at all. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, here we go. I'm going to pit now. I think this pit was quite good. Normally you have to like try and brake as late as possible to keep the speed up while going into there. You can see Raikkonen's right behind me. And this is quite a good pit stop for me, especially where Raikkonen ends up, because he's right behind me, as you can see. And I just wanted you to take note of, you know, the fact that he was right behind me and see what happens where he comes out. So I'm going to put it behind. As you can see, Ricardo, I think it's Ricardo, yes it's Ricardo, comes behind me, and I think even another car is behind him until Raikkonen managed to get out. So I've managed to, you know, push him back 2 more places. Mainly because of the pit stop, because you've got to make sure to wait for a car to go past before you can get out of the pits. And well, as you can see, Maldonado just wants to take me off the track. He already hit me once going around the corner, then he hit me again there, and now I just get hit by I think it's Ricardo. I always seem to get the bad luck. I always seem to get the bad luck on this game. The AI just seemed to have it out for me. Especially in this race specifically. I was having a good race, nice clean race, until this happened. Until Maldonado decided to take me off the track, and then Ricardo took my front wing, and now Hulkenberg just decided to have me. And I got a warning. In fact, I got a time penalty for hitting Hulkenberg. I didn't hit him. I was in front of him. How can you cause a collision if you're in front? It's just not possible. So I don't understand how that is even possible for me to get a 5-second time penalty. But now I've got to try and now even Alonso's trying to get past me, and he's just trying to hit the back of me as well. Now I've got to get to the end of this lap and pit, otherwise I'm just going to go to dead last. In fact, I'm probably going to go dead last anyway. But all I know is that Hulkenberg will probably have to pit as well, so that will mean that he will be behind me. If I've got 5 seconds penalty, then I'm going to have to make sure I'm 5 seconds at least ahead of him, just to make sure I don't come at least last. That is my aim right now, as you can see, because the race would be ruined for me. I'm not going to get second place back. I'm going to get near to the top 10, I don't think now. So I just need to try and do the best I can and do limit. As you see, little one's getting right past it. I've got no grip, no front wing. It's not going to help. So damage limitation here, and I'm not going to let him get away with that. But no, yeah, that's probably my fault there. I could have probably done better with that, but as you see, I'm really struggling, and I've got to pit. There we go. And I think that's Roberto Merry behind me as well. So as you can see, I've got to actually change my front wing as well. So it's going to take a bit of time. And unfortunately, I think, yeah, there we go. Roberto Merry is in front of me, so he's my target to beat now. I've got to beat the Mauritius, the man of Mauritius. I've got to beat them. No, it's not happening. I am coming behind them. It's not happening. That's my aim from now on, is to basically beat Roberto Merry and Will Stevens. Okay, I have to. So here we go. Here's my charge, basically. Then it should be fairly easy compared to the other AI, as they are in slower cars. So, and I've got obviously the fastest car in the grid, so I should be able to catch up to them, even with the I say skill deficit from the AI to me, because obviously they're going to drive perfectly, but he's going to have a slow car, so hopefully that's going to help me still. And as you can see, I really have caught up to him. And right there, I didn't realise how early he was going to brake, so I hit the back of him, unfortunately. Now, if I was given a time penalty for that, I would have understood. I would have understood that would be completely my fault. However, I didn't. I think it's because he didn't go off the track. But for some reason, I don't understand how I got a 5-second time penalty from Hulkenberg, yet I was in front of him. So, it's a bit of a weird one. But anyway, I'm going to skip it ahead again now, and we're going to see what happens if I can catch up Will Stevens before the end of the race. So, yeah, I'll see you in a sec. Right, so I'm back, and we have, it's safe to say we have caught up with Will Stevens. I got a bit wide there, but that's not going to help at all. But yes, we have caught up to him, so he's not far behind. Now I've just got to make sure to pass him as clean as possible without causing myself any more problems. And if I do, then I can safely say I'm going to come last. If I don't, I can safely say that I am going to not come last. So, yes, basically it's either get past Will Stevens or come last, I think, for me, right here. So I'm really catching him up here, so I might try and pass him in one of these turns. It's going to be really hard. Got a bit wide there, and I see my chance, and I just hit the wheel, so I caused a bit of a problem. Then he goes a bit wide there, and I just managed to get past him so easily. I got a warning, yes, I understand. It was my fault again. I saw the chance, I went for it. He closed it quickly, which obviously they're allowed to do, and I actually hit his wheel, but we both came out of it unscathed, thank God. But now, basically, I've got to pull out a 5 second gap. I've got to pull out a 5 second gap because because I got a 5 second stop penalty, so that'll be added on to time. So I need to make sure I'm 5 seconds ahead of him, so that I'm still ahead of him on the classifications. So basically, that's what this lap's all about. I'm going to go as fast as possible and just try my best to get as far away from him as possible. As you see, my tyres are a lot better than they were at the end of the first stint. I mean, I'm fairly staying on the track. and I'm doing a lot better than obviously Will Stevens is, so I'm hoping that I can pull out that gap. I'm much better on the braking than usually the AI. I try and brake as late as possible, whereas the AI you probably brake a tiny bit earlier, just to be sure that they stay on the track and get the right racing line. However, I go more for braking distance. If the shorter the brake you have, the more speed you're going to have on the entire lap, because you're not slow. You're not driving slowly for half the lap, are you, going around corners? So I always try and brake as late as possible, and I like to think it does help. However, this is the first time I have played it on Legendary, so I had no idea how early they brake before I played this game. But it seems as though they sort of brake a tiny bit later than the normal, than on medium difficulty. But as you can see, Nico Rosberg has won the race. Of course, you would have guessed it from the very start. He was in the lead. I was holding back everybody. He had no problems the entire race, and I should have come second. It wasn't for Lemon Maldonado, and then Ricardo, and then Hulkenberg. Yeah. So, what can I say? It's one of those things again. I swear the AI have something against me. They just overhit me. You saw that in the last time we raced, and that was an online race. And first of all, the multiplayer opponent hit me. He left the game, and then just later in the race, when I was actually bringing it back, I was getting the first. The AI just suddenly wanted to hit me all the time, and I didn't. I think I came sixth in that race. So that wasn't at all good. But as you can see, this is the end of the last lap, and as you see, I am. Well, not last. Yeah, let's go with that. I'm not last. It wasn't a good race. It was good at the first half. Then as soon as I pitted, went downhill from there. So obviously I didn't do Lewis Hamilton justice. He needed to win the championship, and he won the race. So I should have at least won the race for him, but I didn't. And unfortunately, I can't beat Legendary by the looks of it. And as you see, Hulkenberg did also get a penalty, so I wasn't alone in the penalties, thank God. And I did come 16th, so it wasn't all bad, apart from the fact that I'm 16th instead of 2nd, you know. So, oh well. Anyway, these are the highlights. So we got the first, we got the starting grid. I'm gonna see how I get past pretty much all these cars. It's really quite a good manoeuvre, I like to think. Past the Ricardo there, and past the Ferrari, sorry, quite easily, and into second place, which is really good. And I think this is a point where Vettel tries to get onto the inside. I'm not going to let him. I'm going to squeeze him out. He's just going to go over the corner and not brake so easily. And so I keep my second place for now. This is a point where Vettel actually does get really close to me throughout the race. I got a bit wide there, and then that caused me to go wide again. He senses the opportunity, I close the door, he doesn't get through, he goes back behind Raikkonen. So Raikkonen's got a shot at me now, so he gets a better line there, he goes for the inside, misses, doesn't touch me, he just goes wide there and causes both of the Ferraris to have a little bit of a problem with speed. So, I managed to keep it there, and now we're up for the pit stops. And as you see, Raikkonen's right behind me there, and then Ricciardo. And the order definitely changes after the pit stops. There we go. I had to wait a few seconds for the Williams and the Red Bull to get past me, but now the Red Bull is behind me, and the Ferrari had to wait for the Red Bull to go out. So we had to wait until they ended out, and also the Williams get out as well before the Ferrari, which is pretty good. So yeah, that's 2 places it's behind now. And then we go into the first corner again after the pit stop. I go a bit wide, but I'm still on track. Then Maldonado just decides to knock me off the track, and then I come back trying to get back onto it, and then he knocks me off again. So he's been really unfair on me, and then Ricciardo just decides to clip my back wheels and make me spin and lose my front wing. So yes, I'm very surprised he didn't get a penalty for that either. So so now I'm trying to get back onto the race line just so I can get back to the pits as fast as possible. As you can see, they're trying to catch me up really quickly. The camera just cuts out here, which is unfortunate, but then he knocks me out, here. He loses a front wing as well. Somehow I get a penalty, but he does as well. So yeah, it's a bit here or there. I think it is quite unfair for me to have lost second place so quickly and gone down to pretty much dead last. Alonso's trying to get past me there. That was a bit of a bold move, I think. But he's not going to get me at the end of the straight. So, but he's going to continue to try. He thinks that he can make it, but he can't. So I'm just going to turn in here. Even without my front wing, I still managed to keep him ahead. But then it comes down to this turn where you're just constantly turning right, and it just doesn't work. No front wing just not work. So he just passed me there. And now we're here for the second round of pit stops. Well, second round of pit stops for me, because I lost my front wing. However, I do get fresher tyres, which obviously does help me get faster. However, Roberto Meri is now into the pits. I don't know whether that's his first pit or second pit. But yes, so now I've got to face him. I don't know what happens there. That's down to the computer. I was controlling the car at that point, so. And this is my chance to take over Roberto Meri. I do hit him a little bit. He doesn't go off the track, so that's probably what saved me from getting a penalty. If I had knocked him off the track, that probably would have been my fault. He probably would have given me a penalty. So here we go. Here's me against Will Stevens. Again, they only give me a warning. I don't even know why I keep hitting these cars, but they seem attracted to hit me. But from this angle, it just looks completely clean. But as you saw on board, it wasn't as clean as I thought I would make it. So that's it. And basically, here is what I did afterwards. I decided to go on expert. Instead and see what the difference is, and actually I was on pole position and I'm clearly in front. But yes, I tried an expert because I thought I tried legendary and I didn't quite do good enough. I wasn't fast enough. As you can see, Rosberg's trying to get me there, but I ain't having that. I ain't having Rosberg try and get past me. So no, he can spin out. I don't care. But yeah, I decided to try an expert and see how well I did on there as well. I want to try and find the difficulty that I feel that I could probably win, but I also want to challenge as well. And I feel like expert is that challenge. So here's the first pit stop. Now what I did purposely is make sure to stay out an extra lap to wait till Rosberg has to come into the pits. So when he's right behind me, we've both got to pit at the same time because he has to pit on this lap. He has to, and so I've made him wait right behind me. And so he's like gonna have to take another 20 seconds waiting for me to start with, and then then he's gonna actually take the pit stop. So I've made him wait there quite a while, which is absolutely hilarious. So take that, Rosberg. Yes. And I think I do go a bit wide there. So but here's the angle from on board. So he's right behind me. And we're coming to pits. And he's just gonna have to wait there until I finished. But yes, that was perfectly. I was tactful on that. I was very tactical on that because I wanted to make sure that he doesn't get past me or anyway. He's not even close to me. I don't want him close to me. But yeah, he moves back. I think 2 spaces behind Vettel, and I managed to take first quite easily there. Well, not easily, but fairly comfortably, I'd say. And what happened at the end was it was Rosberg versus Vettel, and it did turn out to be Hamilton, Rosberg and then Vettel, just like it was in Austin as well. So I'm very glad that even on expert I did manage to replicate what actually happened in real life. But anyway, that's for me, and I will see you guys next time then. Hey guys, hope you enjoyed the video. If you haven't seen my latest videos, links are on screen. Please go check them out. If you can give them a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, that would be awesome.